All right. Welcome again to MG Sports TV, people, and we're here with another update. Yeah. So apparently, Reggae Boy striker Michail Antonio has been shortlisted by Leportigue, that's the Wolverhampton manager, for their in this transfer window to be their well, they want a striker, so he's the one that they have shortlisted, and Wolverhampton, West Ham is not having it, actually. West Ham is not having it. And there's many reasons why West Ham would most likely would not have that scenario played out in their mind. Now, guys, this won't be a long video, roughly in the region of about 10 to 15 minutes, hopefully. Try my best. But for sure, we're going to get into the details of that. But before I do that, people, I want to say thank you very much for the support. And also, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell. A lot of people are telling me that they haven't been getting the content since recently. So I'm asking you guys, please do turn on your notification bell. And since we got that out of the way, let's get into the details. So let's bring up it. So according to Talk Sports, West Ham striker Michail Antonio is a January transfer target for Wolves as second approach for Hammer's teammate also Hyde. Wolverhampton have made West Ham striker Michail, well, just that. The 19th place Premier League side are set to be active in the transfer market this month to improve upon their season so far. So they're not having a good season, people, and that's the truth about it. Wolverhampton, they're not having a good season, and relegation is in the peak of their eyes, and they are getting extremely desperate, which is nothing's really wrong with that, because at this present moment, when you're looking at relegation, that's not a good thing. They have only scored 11 goals so far this season in 18 games. 11 goals in 18 games. But bear in mind, Michail Antonio is not necessarily one of the strikers that you say will generally give you a lot of goals. No. Especially this season. He's not racked up the numbers. And that's an interesting one. But his presence, his physical presence, and his work rate is one that is very, very valuable. And that would add something extra to Wolves. Now, I do know that West Ham don't create a lot of chance for Michail Antonio, so that could also be a factor. When you see the amount of chance that Wolverhampton create for their striker, Raul, definitely that's one to notice. But this one is interesting. This one is really, really interesting. I know a lot of people would say they're wondering if this is actually a good move or not. But for me, it's a dangerous one. Reason being, since he's at West Ham, things are not that flavorful at West Ham. Yes, he's getting game time. He's not scoring a lot of goals, but he's kind of fading away a bit. And apparently, West Ham are looking for another striker as well. So they may be looking to replace him. And it could be a case in which he wants to opt out before he has been replaced. Just before he has been replaced. And that's something to look at. Let me see if I can bring up the good. This is where the details are at, people. So as you can see over to my left hand side right there, you can definitely see the details of that. Let me read a little bit into the article. They've just netted 11 times in the league during the campaign, with Daniel Podence, Ruben Neves being their joint top scorer on just 4 goals each. With goals clearly limited, Julien Lopetegui could look to make a move for Antonio in the coming weeks. The Wolves boss has highlighted the 32-year-old as someone who would improve their attack for the rest of the season. So they are in a desperate position, people. They need to get goals. They need it right now. And the only way they can secure those goals is by improving on their striker line. Now, the mere fact that Daniel Podence and Ruben Neves, who are not high goal scorers, are the leading goal scorer, shows that something is really, really wrong in that front line. Now, it's imperative to look at Michail Antonio and say, hey, he's out of sorts because his numbers also dried up. But what he offers on the field of play is quite pivotal to the West Ham success for the past couple seasons, actually. So his work rate It's tenacity. Now, do you think that West Ham would really want to let go of all of those attributes at this point in the season, especially to their rivals? I highly doubt that. No, this is the latest article coming out, people, that West Ham blocking Wolves move for Michail Antonio. So this is what they said. Keane wrote this article. West Ham are currently blocking any potential move for striker Michail Antonio. The Express understands. This is what they said. Wolves are after proven Premier League experience in the January transfer window and having a long-standing admiration for Antonio. They are eager to make another forward signing this month and would be interested in a move for the Jamaican international. But the Hammers are currently reluctant to let him go. If their stance change, Wolves could make a move before the window ends. The 30-year-old started West Ham's FA Cup win over Brentford at the weekend, but has found himself behind Skamaka in the pecking order for Premier League games in recent weeks. So you could see that West Ham is slightly fading Michail Antonio out of the team. But the dilemma for Antonio is this: go to a relegation team. Two things could happen. Either one, you get relegated with that team, or two, you help the team to come out of the relegation battle and remain in the Premier League. But the problem is, it's risky. It's very, very risky. The 30-year-old started with some FA Cup win over Brentford. Okay, just read it. Antonio's contract also runs out in 18 months. However, there's an option to extend it by another year. Meanwhile, Wolves continue to have a firm interest in West Ham teammate also, his West Ham teammate Craig Dawson. So it's not only Antonio that they are going for, they're also interested in Dawson. Now, this one is an interesting one, people. This one is very, very interesting. Antonio is not scoring consistently, and I do think that a change of environment can trigger off some his goal scoring prowess, in which he kind of lose a bit. But the thing is, Antonio was never like a prolific type of goal scorer. He was mostly known for his high ethic, his high work rate on and off the ball, and being heavily involved in the attack, holding up the ball, pushing forward, creating problems for defenders, opening areas where the wingers can provide, get themselves onto slots of balls anywhere and score goals. This is what Michail Antonio is known for. So maybe Wolverhampton, knowing how Wolverhampton plays, sit deep, catch you on the counter, this type of striker in Michail Antonio would suit their system very well. Even when they push forward, they play a lot of aerial ball, and definitely Michail Antonio would be suitable for that type of play. So he would undoubtedly be suitful to this team, Wolverhampton team, based off how the team plays and the type of player that Michail Antonio is. But as I said, it's highly risky because they are in a relegation battle at the middle of the season, and it's difficult to say that they will automatically come out of the relegation battle with the help of Michail Antonio, and that if that does not happen, you see Michail Antonio in the championship, and I'm sure that's not something that he would want. He would prefer to hold out until the end of the season with Wolverhampton and then make a move to another Premier League club lower down the pecking order and fight with them. So that could more likely be the case. All out with West Ham, I should say. My apologies. All out with West Ham Football Club. So it's kind of a dilemma that he's in right now. He wants more game time, specifically more Premier League games he's played. That's how it is. When you're coming at the end of your career, that's how it is. But you also don't want to just drop off a ball just like that. So this is the situation that's happening, people. As I said, it won't be a long stream. This is the information that we have at hand right now. Michail Antonio. Leon Park said, "Imagine at West Ham, time for something new." Yeah, there is a lot to say about that. I do think that has a lot of sense in it. And Balakik said, "Tell Wolves said them can't get Antonio. Them have to try off of Boza." Wolves is in a relegation battle, so I don't think Boza would have really wanted that. O'Shea Miller said, "Wagwan, yeah, so I have the big up. Ain't he like a similar profile to Diego Costa?" Yes, he is. Quite similar. But he has a lot more work rate than Diego Costa. Way more work rate. And Diego Costa could be better at finishing, but he has a higher work rate than Diego Costa. That is the reason why he's a similar type of player. That's the reason why Wolverhampton went for Diego Costa, because they are of that mold. Balaki said, who's the Scott overall? Who's the Scott over Wolf? Them want beaten. Oh, who's the scout over Wolf? They want beaten. You can't tell me, after a big World Cup, you didn't identify any foul. Now remember this now. After a big World Cup, most of those players that participate in the World Cup, especially the players that did well, are them value high. So what Manchester United did, they went for is it Wout Weghorst? A weird name, which is actually, I personally think that he's a good striker. He's a very good player. So that's good scouting by Manchester United. Manchester West Ham is only 1 point above Wolves. So imagine if they let go Michail Antonio. Don't you think that would be a detriment to them? But they're out of the relegation battle. So even though it's 1 point, it's still significant. 1 point. Look at this Premier League right now. 1 point can win a league. 1 point can win the league, Nitro. Balaki said, away Wolf them thing Amas I go give. Balaki retype them something. I want Wolf them think Amas I go give them one of their big guns like that. Then most Blacky, cause these last 4 months to go in EPL, anything can happen. Or them feel like injury. No, watch go on. Yeah, anything can happen in the last couple of months, of course, 100%. Anything happen. But the main aspect is that they are just in front of their rivals. And one of their main strikers in Michail Antonio. Yes, he might not be first choice again. As mentioned, Skamaka is now the first choice. But he's also one of the main strikers. If they should let go of Michail Antonio and strengthen one of their rivals, especially if Michail Antonio drop into this Wolf team and Lopetegui find a way to get Michail Antonio on ball in the dangerous area, scoring goals, that would be detrimental to West Ham. Because that means that Wolverhampton will move over West Ham. And what do you think the fans would say? David Moyes will look like crap if he should allow that to happen. And West Ham end up in a relegation battle, and Wolverhampton coming out of the relegation battle with the help of Michail Antonio. And that is just how unfortunate and how unfair the football dilemma. That's also unfair football is at this point. So what I'm going to make a close of the poll. I think quite a few of you guys voted. 24 votes, 71% said, is this a good move for Michail Antonio? 70% said yes, 29% said no. In my point of view, it is a yes and a no. Let me tell you why. As I said, there's so much factors, and West Ham is close to Wolverhampton in the league right now. And look at this. Both of them kind of in the relegation battle. It's just that evidently Wolverhampton is in there by the table stats. Now, when you look at performance-wise, I strongly believe that performance-wise, Wolverhampton are performing a bit better than West Ham right through the league. They are performing a bit better. The problem with Wolves is they're not scoring. That is the big problem. So with the addition of Michail Antonio, someone who can give them goal, I do think that can give them an extra push. But what if he remains, he goes to Wolverhampton and things don't work out as though he perceive, and then now he get relegated with Wolves? In which, not saying that it's going to happen, but it's likely to happen. He could also stay at West Ham and Wolverhampton still push forward, and West Ham get relegated. So it's kind of in the dilemma. But I do think that I would swing towards making a move, because he wants to play Premier League and he's now playing second fiddle to Skamaka. So I do think he wants to play Premier League, and I do think that he would push for the move, because Premier League game time is a big factor in all of this. So I do think so. Anyways, people, please do smash the like button. I'm going to go now. Hopefully you guys are doing good. If there's any more updates right through the day, I will give it to you guys. So thank you very much, people. This is MG Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing good, and enjoy the rest of your day, people. And have a good morning. Never said that. My apologies, my manners. Big up, people.